Ededi na mansanso hu. Fa phone na record o maami a woto nyom. Ana se wosa ebia na wonu aduane. Ana woye bibi sronko a ema ne danso e wona afomu. 1 minute pe. Na tie obetimi ne maame aye. Ana se wone ne ma. Ana wonu akasa ne kunu. Ye afidie. Mama got talent and you TV so be a day. Now for send us our WhatsApp number way 0543 871210. Nadia TNA woman betin kunim no Angel TV Angel FM e bom abaso sanso ene ene omunyina e hwia bomu ni ya gieni ni akase mama mo ena mo waya de nyankopon onhiraw eniti kai na sanu video nintem esanse deadline no e 1st May 2025 wo mama video e be fe na beto mpanyefo akomaso no ye beto nsa from amomaba Angel House forecourt I wo flat top akweteman ama ye djumedi na hihye so ebra ye di enanomoda na ya shomo no nyam ye say mama got talent ye bi mama me why na ye nyina ye mbomu enhye enanum no nyam Angel TV Angel FM Emma enanum nyina ayiko #mama got talent #Mother's Day #celebrate mom.
Ghana asumdwe man omana nyamedi ne tumi nam akanifo bi so tse wasaje for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah ene wona ekeka ho na de tenso se ode ne pa bebre na adua oman mu na oman ya chede bebre sa chede bi ne koko achede bi ne sika kokko de nchemmo timba ene de ekeka ho nanso no se yehwa eka yebo wosa achede hu no edoso eche mfaso a ebrɛn eyare hosem oman ebekɔ nanimu a enye MPP enye NDC enye akuadonko anase enyom mu bia oman ni beye ya ejeme no se wotuwe ankrankre edien na woye ama oman yakɔ nanim so oman hu hia ho woti hei oyo abanjuma yeni ebreben na osori ko adwuma abanjuma yeni tumi da mpama ma ne bono no so epam na oda ho efise enye ono dia eya aban dia na aya na areho se yede sobo ne nyina bo aban no na mum yendwene se oman ne be ya eyemeno mumiefa nsiye miefa hoden akokuduro enko emmadachi yenchirima ebeba no omo nso ebenya babipa asi na omo ammo yensobo Ye or my may, Yamo homodin, Nayandria home, Yama or mine in here, the bay you, in you, the free me know, the Damas. Ghana, Asumdwe man, Omana, Nyamedi ni tumi, nam, akenifo bi so ti se, wasaje for Dr. Kwame Asah, anyone a ekeka ho. Na de chance won se, ode ne pa bebre na adua oman mu na oman ya chede bebre. Sa chede bi ne koko. Achede bi ni sika kokko denchemo timba eni de keka ho nanso no se yehwa eka yebo wosa achede hu no edoso eche mfaso a ebre eyare hosem oman ebekọ nanimu a enye MPP enye NDC enye akuadonko anase enyom mu bia oman ni beye ya ejeme no se wotuwe ankrankre edien na woye ama oman yakọ nanim so oman hu hia ho woti hei oyo abanjuma yeni ebreben na osori ko adwuma abanjuma yeni tumi dam pema ma ne bono no so epam no down ho efise enyo no dia eyaban dia na aya na areho se yede sobo ni nyina bo aban no na mum yendwene se oman ne be ya eyeme no mumiefa nsiye miefa hoden akukuduro enko emmadachi yenchirima ebeba no omo nso ebenya babipa asi na omo ammo yensobo ye oman mai yemo ehomodin na yenyere ye ho nyema oman no ehia ye ne beye ye o enye ye o efiri mi no edamos Ghana, asomdwe man. Omana nyamedi ne tumi nam akanifo bi so te sɛ ɔsagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah ɛne wɔn a ɛkeka ho. Na deɛ kyɛn so ne sɛ ɔde nipa bebree na adua ɔman mu na ɔman yɛ akyɛdeɛ bebree. Saa akyɛdeɛ bi ne koko, akyɛdeɛ bi ne sika kɔkɔɔ, dɛnkyɛmmoɔ, timber ɛne deɛ ɛkeka ho. Nanso no sɛ yɛhwɛ a ɛka a yɛbɔ wɔ saa akyɛdeɛ ho no ɛdɔɔso ɛkyɛn mfaso a ɛbrɛ yɛn. Ɛyɛ awerɛhosɛm. Ɔman yi ɛbɛkɔ n'anim a ɛnyɛ MPP, ɛnyɛ NDC, ɛnyɛ akuadɔnkɔ, anaasɛ ɛnyɛ ɔmo mu biara. Ɔman no bɛyɛ yɛ a ɛyɛ me no. Sɛ wotuo yi ankorankora yi, ɛdeɛn na woyɛ ama ɔman akɔ n'anim? So ɔman ho hia wo. Wote ha yi, woyɛ aban dwumayɛni, ɛbrɛ bɛn ɛna wosɔre kɔ adwuma. Ɔban dwumayɛni tumi da mpɛm a ma ne bɔ no nɔnso ɛpae mu na ɔda ho da hɔ, ɛfiri sɛ ɛnyɛ ɔno dea, ɛyɛ aban dea. Na ayɛ na awerɛho sɛ yɛde soboɔ no nyinaa bɔ aban no. Na mmom yɛndwene sɛ ɔman no bɛyɛ yɛ a ɛyɛ me no. Mommɛmfa nsiiɛ, mommɛmfa ahoɔden, akokoduro, ɛnko, ɛmma daakye yɛnkyirim a ɛbɛba no. Ɔmo nso ɛbɛnya baabi pa asi na ɔmo ammɔ yɛn soboɔ. Yɛyɛ ɔman ma yi, yɛmmɔ yɛn ho mmɔden na yɛnyere yɛn ho, nyɛma ɔman no ɛhia yɛn. Ne bɛyɛ yie o, ɛnyɛ yie o, ɛfiri me no. Ɛda mo ase.
Atiefo ni ahwefo braso sɛ yɛde mo ba dwumadi so yɛm mangana dwumadi so na nɛ yɛnsɛm yɛ bien asɛm a ɛdɔpon dikan o say from Nkrumah to Mahama, the conflict between the executive and the judiciary. What's the way forward? We shall memo efi Kwame Nkrumah breso besi ne Bibia no na kama yɛ executive abang na judiciary a wɔn na ɛhwɛ mmara ɛne atemu adwuman nka no saa. Bibia na yɛ wɔn ntamu na wohwɛ fi Nkrumah breso ba buzia ba sojafo abanhoro a yɛnya champong ba Rollins 1979 ba 1979 Liman betena kunwa so ba Fourth Republic PNDC ba Fourth Republic ma minyi soja abang no horo a yenga nyina nto nkyɛn na yɛnhwɛ constitutional government abang a ɔmanfo na di tumi ma sa abang no fi sa abre no sentimetra First Republic Kwame Nkrumah breso. Second Republic, Yengu Buzi Abreso. Third Republic, Liman. Fourth Republic, Yengahui. Ne ye pese yenko moye she. Se deng ne da wontam eye executive mechere abang ene judiciary a won no wo hwe atemu eso na bibia na kama yese ubehu ne du bia na wontam ngo deng ne de sa de na ba anunti ene yenkomo a yebedin yede fiase afi ho na yen aba bepue ewo ene yen maame oye chief justice friend then madam get through tokonu won suspended on yere hwe sanko na ba be si ho ya hwe afemaba mpanimfo a ye no won ba ba di sa adwumadi ne lawyer Anthony Forsen kangno na ono ne Ghana Bar Association president biribi atwam nia odi so ye owura John Owusu Ajeman oye lawyer ni na odom NDC ku no nia odi so ye yenwura Alfred Twia Yeboa Nana Akufo-Addo bereso no ye deputy attorney general and minister of justice nia odi hobio owura Jonathan Esare na oye private legal practitioner and then the lead editor the law platform inti na mpanimfu a yengen saka won obebuebu ensam nani so akire na won akire won adwene ebi bewo telephone so ebi nso bewo zoom so yen topic to so ebien yere hwe Ghana scholarship for 1,000 ECOWAS students, a case of outside gentility, home cry. Washa, Yangura, Mahama, Asha Bobby, said, ECOWAS, would the one and Fedodoya would the one day as part of our program. No, Ose, Wahama, West Africa have 4 nationals. I work to school. Women who are 1,000 scholarship. Say one for Monsieur de war Ghana. You adunti sa nkomono e ba behwe. Mpanimfo e no won ba bekasa no. Ene Honorable Peter Nochu Kutoy oye MP Akachi North na osange ye chairman parliamentary Select Committee on Education. Dr. Joshua Jatromodi, Department of Education, University of Lapland, Finland, and Richard Kwashi Kovo, or convener, campaign against privatization and commercialization of education. William Bwedi, Executive Director of Educate Africa Institute, and Ura Chiremaopong Daniel, or your former president, Nooks. Etiefo, Mamma Quefrino so, Namenko, lawyer Jonathan, Namen and Kokasa. Lawyer, good morning.
Dr. Kwame Asah Asante. Marcha.
On mute, we're free no Buemayan.
Maybe Minister Otamenkan. What no education, what no education.
Say, Wabashana Yansaka opening na Yabiba Abetu Edumedino, so Nansa Nebabano, Memombo Sokakra, and Chile Tifonia here for say. Young topic, Idicano, Tereshe. Send Mephi Asiachren.
Hello, Doc.
Executive and judiciary one term to them. Edu babia no who say executive no ya bang no or a trail need you medimu akwaku siu eye judiciary no kwanga na dem ana say judiciary no so na wutumi dodo ana dem ana say dem eye politics ana dem nti bibia wontamu yarehwe na ni titiru pa na say yarehwe Madam Gertrude Tokonu oye Chief Justice and ne one suspended on yeri fiase efi ho enso yen ahwe se sɛnea wode na wɔn suspend no ɛyɛ no kwan ana ɔkwan na constitution ne kyerɛ sɛ yɛmfa so ne yɛfa so anaasɛ yɛyɛ biribi foforɔ dɛn na ɛkɔ so yewu ɛnkyɛ yɛn hu nneɛma bebree nsɛm no bi koraa akɔ court ama mpanimfo rehwɛ ho asɛm ɛno koraa mpo wɔn kaeɛ ɛna suspension naba ɛno ne yɛhu ne dɛn yɛsanga rehwɛ Ghana Bar Association ɛnkyɛ wɔn nso wɔde letter bi aba abɛto abɔnten ɛwɔ saa nsɛm ho yiw sɛ obiara nhwɛ afɛnu a wɔwɔ saa nsɛm mu nyinaa no wɔnhwɛ no wɔmfa pɛrɛpɛrɛ yɛ nyɛ adwuma wɔmfa mmara nyɛ adwuma mekyerɛ rule of law no na afei wɔma biribi ya nkɔ ne kwan Ghana Bar Association nea wɔkɛn so ɛyɛ ne kwan anaa sɛ tedɛn afei yɛrehwɛ dɛn na ɛkɔ petition no sɛ na constitution ne kyerɛ no wɔyɛ petition na wɔde ma president na president de ama council of state na wɔhwɛ a na afei wɔse lawyer fo na ɛka wɔmborɔfo ɛsɛ wɔnya prima facie evidence ɛno no kyerɛ sɛ wɔhwɛ mu sɛ nyinaso bi wɔ asɛm no mu anaa wɔnya sɛ nyinaso no wɔyɛ ne dɛn president ɛne ayi council of state fo no hwɛ na wohwɛ yɛn constitution a yɛwo article hello bacho no we free no so no ayura Jonathan ana
You South American.
Hello ura
Hello Doc. Hello Doc, what's American? Hello Doc.
Ura Jonathan, good morning. Na nia ekwi yehui Chief Justice awonga suspended you if you sabre nimfiasia besi baby ya ngadui wo as a lawyer uhune den
me that was me chetie for so need mu obi a wosua mra oye mra ho adwuma need mu an me focus ni bebre na no ye mra na ebo emma oye mampani that's ira John Dramani Mahama emma ni tumi obetumi de eji Chief Justice no obekachi ode tabo kakra bi beto no so bra ye pension asem anase upon the recommendation of the Council of States no obe yi ne to akonya nidi mu a emra pon no ekere kwan a ye de befa so se Chief Justice no ne nyoma bi nkoyie anase ye hwe a ejuma ye de ahye ne nsam ana ejuma ye so oye mrapon ekere no se ye hwe na enkoyie a ana ontumi nya obi wo ho obia wo ho kwan se ode petition ebekọ president ho na president obebobo mu we are in consultation with the Council of States no obe si gina say asema ye dia aba etia Chief Justice no so ehu hia say oji ano ana wo hwe emra na ni demu a ye mampeni John Dramani Mahama onfo memra biae sena mra ne kyerɛ sɛ yɛnya no na kwan a ɛnya sɛ ɛfa so de yɛ yɛwura mampani mensusuye mu ana madwem being very cautious say I am not contemptuous of the case of Vincent Eko Assefa versus the Attorney General and also the interlocutory injunctions filed against the President in the removal of the Chief Justice. Main kasentia sa asem na down a work court no so no na the man dream no misusu ye mo me gidi say president no on kwan procedure ehia say president ndi so no we di so na mo oba article 14610 ni di mo emma mampini no a level of protocol some kind of discretion emma no kwan a ono betre ono no emma no opportunity a obe make decision a ono a ebetra se ekeri na wa hwe se asbria ye mama chief justice ye hwehwe ni nsemi me mane me fa kabwanto ne so ana as me manu koso anye na djuma the president in exercise of his discretion I think say he's bound by article 295 protocol semom kanu administrative fairness rights, so you are bound by law to be fair, candid in exercising discretion. The suspension of the Chief Justice, was it necessary? Is it right? Does it send a good signal constitutionally and democratically? Does this send a good signal? So as a lawyer, though the president has the right to suspend the Chief Justice, my dream anka Mijidi said suspended. The Chief Justice could have, the Committee of Inquiry could have done its job while the Chief Justice would continue to remain Chief Justice until the final determination. A Committee of Inquiry, so bus Jinaya, no two president of say, your mammy get you talk on our Chief Justice. To tone and I pension you did say, President, you says, we need to, if you are so on by Chief Justice. Until say, on my seats at Chinayan. Nama Gimusenka president and suspended. It's answer. So sha. And I am reliant on the case of a J2 versus Attorney General. There's a lot of loose ends, and there's a lot of wiggle room and vagueness when it comes to Article 146. That is, President, to me, Article 146. Mranem mayem pote the SSO biaye and now the president no it will share be say in plain there are no specific timelines per Article 146. Into no fi enne rekosi bria yewura Justice Paul Bafobon retire no say Committee of Inquiry no wo pa wo adwuma from now to bria Era Justice for Bafubon retire. The president by machination and the Committee of Inquiry by machination may be able to more or less make Justice for Bafuboni an acting Chief Justice. Philip me in plain because it brea or retire. Indeed, a bit by 2 years simple. The law does not provide specific timelines. Though in law, no, we did say asudi be dauswa. Sa asudi no, manage to say in tempara so obey sa asudi. Say and tempara so the Committee of Inquiry. Union for Justice Paman Adam. You did say. Within 3 months at most, to make the one findings and one to ama Yeraman Penny. Na Yeraman Penny so or the South to be Juma. Na so was a 1 year when you need to Sakunya, will be in to Sakunya. And not to prejudge the findings because ushima petitions ya can be ushim kwa ira akogo that's a lawyer a young akogo usheno kwa some of ne exhibits he had to rely on the law platform and so ever petition na madwum no mashim my chief justice no responses need you fatoto na no ejina the administrative duties of chief justice no transfers ni ade. I don't know any chief justice wapa 1 year transfers. Chief justice bia year transfers. But minimally say conventionally what year no in 4 year periods. But there's no bar against the chief justice. It is obesha. The acting chief justice what the crata thing. See application bia na case fufu bia bia was superior court bia if I'm running him now on train date in judge or better assembly so. It's which I say here a chief justice no to me a man they are shining sana their man because he's the chief administrator of our justice system. Into eba pere yone atentine nea ono no hwe so man into no o was hard to me now but o hwe my chief justice sa to nyoma ni bia o ya na nu bia na what born what they are born what they are kura so na say ne o ye into no entwe ye into no ye man pani onyi ni to onyi ni free bia ye man pani na na do na go for ma pon e man sa to me e dia man it need him me susu mu ni ma dwen mu me bon to fa ye man pani omu mira bia so ye na mu me pa ne discretion under article 14610 me susu mu na ene ma dwen mu need him anka suspension de amwaye esan say we trust yi bia to ho man penefufo bi ba obey especially in a polarized country like Ghana where we have divided in terms of party lines and Usha 146 it is subject to a lot of Senate Madam for Court of Appeal Justice it's easier to remove a chief justice than even to remove a superior court judge. And I'm many drink. Many drink pa. It's say 2 minutes na no my pona they are swa yaman pedi. And 146 soon to me my definite provisions in terms of every aspect of the way to take out mischief from the whole and on the entire process. This is my preliminary view on the matter.
Which they say, Washa on 2 merebiae, Nanka, Wabin Modia, Anka suspension no, Anka Omama Menentana, Nedu Mominye, whilst a committee no, Yenade. Not so, mon lawyers, Mona Bibia Motre and say, Abba Bibi say, wouldn't there be interference in the process? So my men that's where you mama and then
that is a fair point to raise, but at the same time I find it's not borne out. And I can kasemuno me say ya there between it's say committee of inquiry nidium wo share one power what a committee in so wonim de nidium additionally petition na what they am was submitted petition now what the one in so Erica into the committee is seized with the facts and the evidence. Chief Justice, all she can do is to present herself before the committee or the Nobel committee, committee no be bubu nsem ono so obe committee no ono so be bubu ebe yi ebe tutu nkofo ano ono so de nyinaso ebeba there's no way me hu kwan bia so a still or your chief justice ebe ha adwen anase ebe infiltrate ana ode akwensidie bi ana twintwanam bi ebe ba committee na dwumayɛ mu menyin nisa kra kofa wode one petitions akɔ wonya so deda asɛm no esiewie it no enye afei na obeba be ye bibi. For example, so share Yevra Daniel Fori ni petition na nisem no ne say o say Chief Justice eba akwentum ni ade a sikasem bi koso a ogidi say Chief Justice no nisa tumi no ana mrano mano sa akwenya Chief Justice sued na nu ya ba wa kire say wa kire sie a be kire say wa kire mra e man sa tumi ni say sa akwentu ana akwenya no esonya iti no menyini ma adwemu no mehu kwan a ye ma me Chief Justice says or that so ye Chief Justice or be interfere with the process with respect. I don't see it at all. Uba petition ba could be also or suggest that is, I think that's prominent in Shining Star, signed by Kingsley J. Also, Yama Chief Justice or recommend mampeni and nipa numbia ujidi say down a Senate fata say President Mawonsoko Supreme Court bench. It's answer Chief Justice not sure na dream no means suyemu no. Chief Justice Supreme Court at least I say they should have at least 19 judges. And this was a letter Chief Justice Trump President or Chief Justice commission a survey and research into caseload of the Supreme Court and the ability of the Supreme Court to dispose of cases, the rate at which the Supreme Court dispose of cases. It is a very good research. Researcher may say something that it is to ensure scientific understanding of the work of the Supreme Court to be able to advise on the composition in terms of the numbers of justices of the Supreme Court. Chief Justice recommended or transfer desire is and research or the can or the candidate and what the man penning and also just say man penning say we have 5 more judges. Abeka justice a Supreme Court judges no to map what won't do me. There's only one Supreme Court in Ghana. There are about as many high courts as there are prominent towns in Ghana. It's so and all over the region, and there are 5. There's one court of appeal, but we have them based in 5 regions, servicing the entire country. But by Supreme Court, we have just one. I say case load no and one jurisdictions no also and to say USD it's no cases no bow one so be it's no the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice in her wisdom and relying on scientific research and work in terms of the study of cases that are filed in the registry of the Supreme Court and accept cases now were filed and now Supreme Court to meet national and he know what to make decisions and within what time frame it's all year when in us recommend the man president said you hear more numbers a year or year will be see a grounds of incompetence and grounds of inability to perform their duties into what he has into we say or the ama president into no some no I see into no and when you are no Chief Justice be committee mean so that's why a Chief Justice committee no omwejuma die no ana wonjuma no ebebrasia na sinsinso edisunso so bi enye ebebre committee yidie mu
Ukofa we by a sa nomination na oye no. Now the wording of the letter no yina ya TV wabonten say or recommend you no recommend ana say judicial council.
What happens is that a president no appointed upon the advice of the Judicial Council. You know, and in the case of I think it's Richard Sky and GBA versus Attorney General, the recommendation or the advice of the Council of State and random fast advice in President Kete. A man who is a foot and a foot super offer. Mechanical of 100 doctors Asante to before saying me and Shiandi. Safutu now my and one come fat. Need me pa me fat. It be fine. You say me fire, Abuami, it be man fat. It's a footwa. Who to me find to President Kete. It's a president na then appointed. But usually no. President will only have suggestions. It's answer president so assuming say a president are only legal background. The president will not know who exactly is doing what or who exactly is delivering that deserves promotion. It's usually the president will only have suggestions and recommendations. And you know, depend on the own discretion of the president. So now what nominate into nominate here not council of judicial council. What they do is that the nominees are presented before the judicial council. Yeah, what you want interviews? I mean, the public doesn't know this. Even a lot of lawyers don't know this. So president and nominating one. How the council, judicial council arrives at advice and now if you what the president what one that's the nominees what to one no we are what the advice president until I think in 2022 2023 president no 2024 yes that's last year president and nominee some justices to the Court of Appeal bench. Now, no platform say some judges are president and nominate one. What do Council of State? Council of State people want it. At the end of the day, a bit more wow. Who in Yasa Quiniano and be justices of the Court of Appeal. What is here? You know, as the president that nominates and the president receives advice. Into bidding judge bidding say judge means to say a bench Court of Appeal bench and high court. Now judicial council worship. Now what it's answer one industry no judicial council one it's the judicial council is made up of judges and members of the GBA and the Attorney General. If I'm not mistaken.
Mr. Owusu Agyemang. Lawyer, Machien. Lawyer Owusu, Machien.
Owusu Agyemang, menya midi no bi. Right.
Yo, Mpacho, Fachem. Lawyer Owusu Agyemang, Fachem.
John Owusu Agyemang.
Yo, Lawyer John Owusu Agyemang. Yo. Yes. Miura, President a suspended Chief Justice. Dede abahu, kasa abahu. Process ni nyina sesi baby e ngebedi nhune den now as a lawyer den na uka wo.
Menda say processes ni nyina constitution 1992 constitution article 146 and a processes nina ewo na article 146 no the can say removal of justices of superior courts and chairmen of regional tribunals. The Constitution now making this provision, Article 146, for the removal of superior court judges and chairmen of regional tribunals. Now, paragraph 1 and now clause 1 of Article 146, I can say, if you permit me to read and then interpret, or say, a justice of the superior court or chairman of the regional tribunal shall not, I repeat, shall not be removed from office except for stated misbehavior or incompetence or on ground of inability to perform the functions of his office arising from infirmity of body or mind, unquote. The way actually say, Judge Bia or Superior Court, a High Court, Court of Appeal, and Supreme Court, and now we're chairman of Regional Tribunal. Yentimi yinedi, and I yentimi yinejuma every ninsem. I just say, why ye bibia? Enye suban papa. Anase nejuma no onim ejuma nisuo ano ye. No, after the toss me and sanis ejuma no ontimi ye enam se on tiapo ewo na ho dimu anana dwenimu ta ne ma mi nsen na bitimi gina so agi supercourt na tribunal chairman Juma F. Ana Constitution eka we trese Constitution no say ye no so say omo judges na dem me and yes, superior court judges the Kwana Constitution make provisions say yetimi eyi omo free adwuma omo ye ho president omampani the first gentleman of the land or also constitution make provisions say so ye niema bia emfata ontimi nya adwuma so yare ana ontimi onhunu adwuma na niso ana order suba money adi yetimi impeach no sana constitution ye ka the members of parliament any speaker yeah the other arm of government almost sa almost ye niema bia emfata ana omumu bi ye niema bia emfata ana adwuma no omuhunu so yi ana se omo yare anti omuntimi nya adwuma Constitution ye make provision say yitimi yi omo efiri ho enti so now asema mi bisa no say adantina Constitution ye make provision say empanimfo edi yanim in the three arms of government, the executive, the legislature, and our parliament and judiciary. So almost for one, omuntimi nya adwuma no yie ana omo ye niema basa ya emfata ana se omo ntiapo yitimi yi omo fi ho no so sana constitution kan ene adentina chief justice there aba na ye kan ho asema aye dede bebre e wo Ghana ha enye
lawyer mami misa wo hwe process ni nyina hefa na wo hu se bibi akwachew process baby e bedu nyina hefa na akwachew mfumusu bi o baby a da na di kire ni o
okay yo me that's it the whole process is na baby ni wa akwachew the processes no can say a chief justice said say a chief justice and be actual petition after one. Now my mentor we need time. As I said, Obi who said Superior Court Judge and Chief Justice at the Suban BAD and now with me and yet Nejuma now want for Department petition Ghana be to meet petition. Petition Ochra Fakoma Nipa Bakope or Ghana ha ya president. The president in Saka petition no and constitution Nema was a president and in this case they say what was he saying? A Nipa means and actual petition and they are comma president. They say Enra met Nipa me so actual petition and they are comma president. The petitions, I am and earlier President Akufo-Addo time, so Professor Asare also tried a petition against the same Chief Justice. Like I said, no, Obedia since 2019, petitions in Kwabe here and I call against you. Now, Marano Chese, the president in Saka petition now a Chief Justice and one. Clause 6, they all can say, I was a president immediately or ne Council of State. A Bejafo, Enyan Safo, Aye you omu, say, Omu two president, ne Omayi Fono, or ne Omushia, now or ne Omu petition, no. Now say, so who say in a swallow petition was say Chief Justice what does be a misbehavior, stated misbehavior. And also untimi yajuma no yesenia emra ehye no se wonye no a na se nyina so wo petition no mu sa ene na o mampani ene the Council of State. Who say nyina so wo mu no eno na emra bi afra no prima facie case. So who say nyina so wo mu a ene na the next year was o mo ye ne say o mampani appointed a committee of 5 people. We independent ya emu justices of the Supreme Court. Ya omumi was a bako and a chairman of the 5-member committee. And a nipa mi and sa o mampani was you or moka on so. Enisa omumu bia a lawyer me and now a member of parliament and now a council of state member. Apart from these 3 groups, nipa fufuro bia o mampani betime yina kan nipa mi ensa no ho no ma ka Supreme Court judges mienu no ho na fi o ma hwehwe asem no mu ankasa ye ka se prima facie case wo nyina so a eno nkyere se ye bua case no e wo nyina so se wo se hwehwem sana na se kyere etie prima facie case e kyere se who's a case, and some be womb, and then no cre, asset. Yeah, what's it? The fisher assembly. Who's a tear, and sana. The buya assembly, sir, Chief Justice. Why am from so into you free ho, and now what am from you free ho. Sana Constitution, in your friend, Clause 6 of Article 136. Now, and Clause 10 of Article 146. Where any Council of State, I get to me say, petitions no ewo nyina so enti president ati committee say enam say wo nyina so enti omo enhwehwe asem no mu no na omo mfa nokora wo mu emeto abontin no ansana tejuma no ebe koso no Council of State etimi tu omam mifo say on my Chief Justice Entena Nchen enkosi say ibedi asem no anaye beye nhwehwemu no awie ne ehu ne tobre anunti omampani beye 3 or 4 days e de krata ba bontin say Chief Justice Entena Nchen na de entra omo the constitution no say a Chief Justice and a Superior Court judge, yeah, prima facie case is against that person. There was a Omampani given to me sitting management of the advice of the council and say, so far, what the Jumanuma or Yepenia, if you are not dancing for you case numa. Almost na say omo ye adwuma na oda so ye adwuma pania o tiwe enipa no kra besuro so omo ntimi ma emedia dance ntia omo boss ana ebia krata bi kra wo ho a e wo se eko committee na nimu a officer o ti officer wo ye adwuma no obetimi atena krata no so omo a krata no wo mu nso betumi krata wi mo manyera kora so enunti to ensure say the integrity say assembly no ebe kosu ye na bibia aye pepepe no enunti na constitution no ita o choro ye no aye no say the do sabria e was say omampeni based upon enyansafo a yefrɛ omo Council of State no omo afutuo no obetimi ama nipa Chief Justice Atena Nchen na omo appoint an acting Chief Justice ebeya omo beye nhwehwemu enti ubi samia the American si nyina ne sɛ since our processes started a petition consultation with Council of State, prima facie case, appointment of a committee to investigate, suspension of the Chief Justice, appointment of an acting Chief Justice who is the most senior judge of the Supreme Court. Nina procedures nina sanya ya chro no constitution article 146 pe no mampani enam so ni mistake bia o mampani ena maintain so say obi aba bonten abeka say procedures a o mampani constitution say on faso no o mampani etia procedures no bia ana wa yemfus or procedures no bia even Ghana Bar Association a lawyer who aba bontin e de krata abeto ho say obi anya abotre emma processes no enkoso pepe senia ekoso no enkosi na wiye na yenhu dia asem no ebi we chere Ghana Bar Association a lawyer for ku a yen enema ye bi ye adwuma ene mmara no yekuo no emufo mpanimfo nyina hu se president enam mmara kwan so procedure no pepe ya wontie na wo ma ya te se omo ye dede e wo Ghana ha oh adan ya suspend Chief Justice adan ya yesi omo ntimi nkyere bibia wo constitution no mu se o mampani ayemfom so Omo de deda na omo ye. Say ye Chief Justice Entran Chen say petition equity ano there. Any not the independence of the judiciary is being trampled upon. Nampacho, the constitution no. Omo ye no. Enim say Chief Justice to young from Spa. I was here in Article 146 ebe share constitution na omodi asema after enyina ya koto aba somewhere in April 19 age constitution no including Article 146 kan ho asemu ama the president Chief Justice Parliament by agency akantam say a constitution the woman biano including Article 146 omo de baye adwuma omo be defend it omo be obey the constitution omo nya discrimination say we there eba o see a didi no we there we see jano maneko omo disanse no. So the question is, I think Nipa or more deals here can't said they will defend and protect the constitution. They said the minority group in parliament. Now more deals here now constitution no microphobia my or much petition akoma or mampeni. Yeah, constitution no or mampeni say the petition Brenwa or the Council of State or Munyan who no more petition no in a soa. Oh, in a soa there any or Monty committee. Now committee no fish. Now say or Mampeni and then the Council of State advice or yes, I near Maya. They be no more or more deans said they will defend and protect the Constitution in its entirety. I can say, the view, Chief Justice, there I am from Sokra, now who get a petition cry, or Mampeni, and Monton, and Manen can't on O Mampeni, yes, sir. Let's say, or no, and see, I would be, yes, sir. Obey, defend and protect the Constitution. Now I'm fine, yeah, Juma. About our Tia Constitution, no Tia Constitution, no so. Constitution, no chess, so Mampani Tia Constitution, yeah. I was so no cry, impeaching, ye unifree. Inti me bisase, a nipa, omo, sorry, say, almost say, Emma or Mampani, enye Juma, Constitution, the action and Sasa on ye, in case to say, Chief Justice. For stated misbehavior and incompetence or is betisa subino nanko for tre editiana near my was a mampani and warrior almost unyayen. Are they telling or mampani any Ghana for say unyayen no numum on phone constitution may you free one after saying
lawyer mamimisa ayi wo friend den wo hwe nea akoya wakyerɛkyerɛ mu ya wɔn a kaseti asase mu yi kyerɛ sɛ ebe how yɛn ododo amemu mekyerɛ democracy ebe ma democracy titia democracy fa hudi so ma democracy enye papa wo menhu a wadwene kyerɛ wo den wo asase mu
menda asiminia bisa wo mu sɛ democracy kyerɛ sɛ nipa bi yɛ bɔne a ana oyem from so yenja no manenko 3 yenya no hwefita o ye chief justice nembom nipa foforo bi de ye bone a ono de ye ntwe na so ana sesei na o mo hwa kire na enya this is the first time the fourth republic yeah mpanimfo yeah o mo ye abanjuma asema to omo ya ye you ya judges. Master, under a friend is saying President Akufo-Addo, MPP government, a judge Fobi, Anas Arimiya Anas, the Tiger PI, investigations, about 22 or so judges and magistrates. They have involved themselves in corruption and so on. And what this idea no babon, what draws specifically to the president or the petition, Ekoma President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Say judges me and Sebi wo me meet any madam for Justice Gilbert A.C. Addo, Justice Paul Utaderi, any Justice Mustafa Ndogo. For the petition, Ekoma Omampeni, Etia side justices say Omo aye corrupt. Enti, yen shisha Omo nsem. Emma Omampeni the constitution etre no. Or the petition no, Ekoma Chief Justice. Emma Chief Justice shame no. Or can say, Anas Arimiya Anas petition now they are Ekoma Omampeni. If I say judge me and some you or mono, we in a so Chief Justice SAT committee. Emma committee no cotanasi, every share and some almost share muno. Committee no make recommendation come out Pampeni Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo say. Only judges me and say Emma onu si judges me and say the ye kasai omutifie Fabra no the person who bisa minority for no omu Ghana ha omu nyina no omu Ghana ha
me wa mama misa case ya wo kan
yeti deda omu ye
mama misa case ya wo kan Akufo-Addo breso ya na say Mahama breso.
Well, Mahama.
Yeah, Mahama na minimum. Mahama breso.
Yeah, Mahama pencil.
Yo.
Now, me that's it for the correction. Now, maybe the question maybe no, me so still. And that's why Mahama pencil. It is about Chief Justice. Now, Mahama pencil and Anas petition go against these three judges. I'm a bobo omudi. Na minority no omo Ghana ha. First one no they judges still no omo a minority. E there no omo kan e Ghana ha me ye te. Say the judges no ha. Ebema ye democracy a follow short. Ana ebegu ye nimase. The date of
lawyer, mami miss
and they were kasa. Ada mu misa say ada dey na help. Your friend said Chief Justice. Why sabi different from judges in Miansana yi omu no na asesai. Omu train. At the same time, aye na na do pencil. Charlotte say, Electoral Commissioner, also head an independent institution, a friend Electoral Commission. Said Equia, also if I be true, fishing Ediano, come home and penny. Nana, Danko, for or Chief Justice. Emma O'Hare Munu was you. There is prima facie case. Enti or settle committee Momo Charlotte or Insemi. no omo recommend say yin no fi oma mpani na nado dankwa kufuado maami efiri ho inti there na sabre no omo kan because the mere constitution no kire say obi electoral commissioner ana obi a charge boss oni court of appeal judge pepepe omo conditions of service ni o bibia pepepe nti omo nso can be considered as superior court judges. So omo nsembae Loretta Lamte na sembae and also 2015 John Mahama Penso and also Crawford petition editiano ema mampani ebo actually the chief justice the then chief justice Emma official mosi prima facie or certain committee or muhwehwem committee no the recommendation by the ini mameno in Loretta Lamte or what the status of a superior court judge, court of appeal judge. Sana Charlotte say, or also, or what's the status of a superior court judge, court of appeal judge. You are meaning every ho, and I send you a marking judges in me and Saint Gilbert, Isiado, Paul Uta, Derry, Mustafa Lugo. Omunina ye you omo firi ho say frustrated behavior incompetence tani mami ni de are omo adenti na chief justice de eye bia ukrofo bi sorry say debi onu de yenja no ne yenja no a Ghana democracy ebe say why masa wa woni me ka say wow, the constitution is where woman said there must be no discrimination against any person in the face of the law. And you say, you oh, Mirani, so where the family, is all in Patuntu, where the my emphasis and Miranino is all in Nipakoko. Where the young farmer and he said, or ordinary judge. Where the my young farmer and because or a chief justice. The constitution says there be we are all before the law. So we should not be discriminated against. It is a minority form. Why should they want discrimination now in favor of the Chief Justice against 5 others who have suffered under this same constitution, under the same provisions, Article 146, clauses 1 to 11. Now, anybody has suffered. Why? Lawyer
Mambisao.
Your homo yeno. And yet, lawyer,
yo, Mammy Missao. Unyen is will be because near Cosi, are your friend NDC person was core point to be as I say, when Charlotte or say no money, Lamte no mon, Honiamenti, Sana, NDC person way. Sasamana, Nkrofo can, why be natural then?
This question no be me.
Missy, Nkrofo Kessi, near Erico Susia, or Kwan one Namasuri, your friend then Chief Justice, no. Nkrofo Chrese, a bibi to say, or ten because it's an say, we Charlotte or say no money, Loretta Lamte no money, Sana, and this so person of us, so now once we is amping free. You, and no, why do you then want?
One day almost abisa almost say, O man penina repetition. Almost repetition, Omudina better bontin. Omu NDC for. What are they talking about? They are not making any sense. With all due respect to my language, I'm speaking Queen's English. So, Ghana English, Libya. They are not making sense. Are they? Say NDC for or time, or more time, Chief Justice, say why they, or more into NDC for time Chief Justice, Omun come in here, was so for Omun Bisa almost said, Adenti, Enna, Moha, NDC, a time Chief Justice. NDC time Chief Justice for anything. Why? Yeah, Chief Justice, a veteran or Parliament. Ya Omuji no tum so my Chief Justice no. Aden, na NDC for nka ho. Ask them. Na NDC for enka members of parliamentary committee, vetting committee, and omu vetting Chief Justice. And omuji no tum recommended to the plenary, the whole house say, yes, engineering tum so my Chief Justice of Ghana. And the agent too. So why are they today saying say or time? Why? One pinpointing NDC for time or enter Ghana for Minani Omuntimi and Kasa Keke Wabra Omun for so Emma Abonti and convince Ghana for and Baku Mienu Niensenti and NDC for a time Chief Justice. Now petition no so President Anna MDC penny for the tray. It is never like that. Petitioners, minority form for petitioners, NDC Casa, where NDC form for metre.
Yo, lawyer, Mammy Missau, I was friend then near Equi in Honiama petition no, and somewhere woman when you be. I can say na mountains when you be na when who will be opposite or come on train.
When your petition no be acting kind, say no credit, and interest petition contents the woman in a barbot better bunting. O man petition better bunting. And in maintain so say. Chief Justice and so at the abetua ponting. The minimum Chief Justice H.R. Crata at the Como Mampany, so Mampany, and man a copy. The Crata no, and on copies to certain bodies, magistrates and judges association, etc. Oma open a letter at the question. Or demanded for copies of the petition. And also, none in Sanka petition, when Tinian can be a petition. So far, what I can say on authority is both the President and the Chief Justice, Omunfa Bibia and Metro Abontia, Efa petition, no contents, no. The Ebeba Bontin say a befan a sa netia dia. Namanya be a kind. A mechanic say, a see police penibi, ACPB, Assistant Commissioner, be may refuse. On your case, Echo Court, Supreme Court, a be assembly, ye be assembly. Papano and actually the petition. Or say, Chief Justice and a President of the Court. Omubuya Semu. And Omubuya Tiano. Omubuya Tiano, and a Chief Justice. He making comments about the character. And no should be no a country Chief Justice. ɛwɔ dan mu hɔ sɛ ɔne no anya adwen ɔka sɛ ɔne no nya adwen na ɛna chief justice ɛyɛ order sɛ yɛnkye no polisifoɔ nkye no ndi wɔn kye no ɛde no kɔtum na wei ɛna akyire migyae no ɛna papa no atwerɛ petition sɛ saa deɛ na chief justice yɛeɛ no ne search a wɔyɛeɛ ɛwɔ court hɔ kyerɛ sɛ the chief justice de yɛɛ no sɛ waka sɛ wɔne no nya adwe nti yɛnkye no court record no chief justice a wɔyɛ president a krataa da no wantwerɛ krataa no mu baabi asɛ wɔde ɔka sɛ yɛnkye papa no ntum ɛma yɛkye no tum nti saa deɛ na chief justice no ɛyɛ misconduct na biribi a bɛsi court no ɛwɔ sɛ nka wɔtwerɛ nti nnipa mmienu order no a chief justice yɛɛ sɛ yɛnkye no ɛyɛ unlawful sɛ no wɔnyɛ hwee on committee contempt sɛ woka kyerɛ court sɛ mene court nyɛ adwena ɛno ɛnyɛ contempt nti ade nti na chief justice yɛ order sɛ yɛnkye no nti ɛyɛ unlawful sɛ order sɛ yɛnkye no. Number 2, chief justice antwerɛ wɔ record mu sɛ say for the item and also ɛyɛ unlawful na mmara kyerɛ sɛ biribi a bɛsi court before a judge ɛwɔ sɛ wotwerɛ nti chief justice a misconduct ne ho wɔabuse ne power sɛ mefa wei nko a masa ɛnyɛ wa wo ne me kasa yi nti wonyɛ hwee wakɔgyina court agye ka asɛm o malo wei deɛ dabi ne ne wo nya adwena masa na nti judge no ma yɛkyew ɛde wo kɔtum a na wansan ntwerɛ wɔ krataa mu kora sɛ wakyew wame yɛkyew ɛde wakɔtum a wani bɛgye ho ɛyɛ abuse of power ma judge nkete no kora obi nye saa deɛ no nanka wo chief justice ɛbɛtɔ w'anim a waka kyerɛ judge no sɛ o dabi we deɛ wanya adeɛ na papa no bɔne paa no wayɛ ɔnyɛ bɔne bia nti ade ndi na obi a ɔnyɛ bɔne wokye no tu ma judge ketewa bi nyɛ na wo watu ne fo sɛ saa nyɛ na wo a wo mu wo yɛ saa ɛyɛ enye enti wo abuse power saa ema ho yehu ena makan se de yatene se chief justice ono nkwa ebi si Ghana ha ya bakose muda from independence yanti bida se judge ba ho a oye supreme court judge ya wo sanye chief justice yɛatwerɛ ne ho petitions baako mmienu mmiɛnsa nnan num nsia sɛ yɛngye n'adwuma mfiri ne nsɛm ebi nsi da enti sɛ yɛ chief justice wei sɛ nnipa twerɛtwerɛ ne ho petitions saa sɛ yɛnyi ne mfiri hɔ petitions nsia sɛ ɔnyɛ n'adwuma yie ɔabusu ne judicial power ɔyɛ nneɛma bi a ɛne mmara ɛbɔ abira ɛho ama amasa adenti na ɛwɔ sɛ nkurɔfoɔ bi sɔre wɔ Ghana ha ɛbɛka sɛ yɛngyae saa nnipa no ɛni si yɛdi n'asɛm wɔn deɛ koraa wɔn si n'asɛm no prima facie case yo ɛdeɛ yo ɛni si committee koraa di asɛm no yɛngyaa no ma no nkɔfi sɛ ɔno nko ara deɛ sɛ yɛdi n'asɛm a Ghana democracy ebesai adai na chief justice ono nko ena magana democracy ana
yo mame bisa yembere etian na wa kyerɛkyerɛ wadwene bebre wode wasɛm kwa wien mame sima baako na bɔ wasɛm no nyina tofa ɛyɛ insamere den pa na wore ka kyerɛ ɔmanfo
me da ase minia the America chere Ghana for nyina ne say democracy eye nyina aye dia enye chief justice dia so onu nko a woyɛ mfumso ne yɛ ka democracy say dabi entisa the constitution no ema ho kwan say omampani chief justice so speaker of parliament ana pani bia wo Ghana woyɛ mfumso a the constitution krese asi twena so ana yidi na sem ye nhwehwemu ofun a yinu epi ho ema nipa foforo ba democracy enkrese obi nya boni mfa ne hunni dabi yes ana democracy krese nyina we are equal before the law it said the mra no se no obi afum mra emfa mra eni no enti ni fi yi chief justice free enti baby a omampani procedures a wa follow no pe ontie enti ema omampani kwan say wa ya du baby e de assembly committee for ya omo hwehwem chief justice nko no defend ne ho na committee no emfa ne recommendation emra committee no de recommendation ba the maame no oni fa omampani entime mpam no enyi na di se won kofie dabi obesan ba abetena ho justice nanso se committee no recommend say oni fa ibe yi na firi ho as chief justice na ono nko na ye judge na ye judge foforo ama na ye chief justice you see I can say acting chief justice o firi ho no da no anya acting chief justice ye djuma kro na ono wo ye na ho abatem acting chief justice ye the same job ye make nyina ne say Ghana fu nyina ye ntai constitution na chi the constitution na kano eno na omampani ade ye adwuma na wo si omampani enya ye adwuma na constitution na hye ade ahye ne nsa fa article 146 ho a wo ye wo si unya isa adwuma so jaya na se kire ne se omampani so ebu constitution no so ya wo akure ebesan akọ the impeachment proceedings akwatia omampani say o adwuma was way under the constitution no onye nso wadi isi akanta defend the constitution omampani chi council of state chi committee nechi chief justice chi na nhwehwemu no enkoso boko na the democracy democracy a free crown a bay din to say and penny for Ghana ha a judge 4 year bonia it me cho o maso eyi o mu free hot said the 3 high court judges free honor electoral commissioner a year bonia it me you free ho human rights commissioner a year bonia it me you free ho and the chief justice so bibia ba na ono so ye yi na firi ha enye nwanwa saana ewo mu adaache ebet number president impo be ye boni ama ye impeach no ana ye yi na firi oh America constitution eno na ye practice for Ghana ye esi nyina ebi esi oh America president kwa
yo lawyer MZ aha na breba man ho kwan ye dawase papa se wa kire wonsemu yo ye dawase
na udi no the same
me de Dr. Kwame Asah Asante
oh uni ena anopa bia ya na me hwe wo joy news no
ba joy me yo
oh mo doc that's it
so that's me ura me that's yo
thank you very much
yo Adiefo ahwefo mama misima ntwa me ho na memda na meba ye de yen offer to so ebien no beba yerehwe scholarship a yenwura president Mahama oso odere ma ECOWAS nationals e wa ha 1000 na so ayigwa so hantan sebe anase ofi ayoroho se yen e wo Ghana ha abang na my scholarship wa ha na abang ne shebo kura se obetua won akọ university afi wura mu first year for tua won school fees wetumetua no ba be man crop scholarship ana eye sebe gwa so hantan bi ayofi ayoroho ana eye den adwene pa ana ye beka ne den mamisima na meba mpanimfo wa ha wo ba be kyerɛkyerɛ nzemu mu fefefe amayen
Ready for something refreshing and great tasting for your kids' enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
For your graduation enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
Beach hangout?
Angel Cola.
For all your refreshing moments?
Angel Cola.
For your parties, get-togethers, events, and celebrations, enjoy a chilled bottle of Angel Cola. Radio Grandma, today is your day. Over to you.
Thank you. Enjoyment Cola.
Angel Cola.
The Enjoyment Cola. Enjoy all your moments and fun time with Angel Cola. This advert is FDA approved.
Brene Dubiewo, Angel Broadcasting Network, ABN, Angel TV, Angel FM Accra, any affiliate stations ahudo nyina. Ye besa hye nanumu no nyam. Ediano ma mitimi ye, woni masa. Anase woto nyom, wo so Mike Museya. Hey, na be biewu. Anase o ma meyi nsenkwa. Woni meduane bi ya, wono a eye dankasa. Anase woye bibia emane danso ewo na afomu enya ne mreni esanse Angel TV ni Angel FM ese Mama Got Talent afi mama mi aduma chede a ewodumo no endedi na mansanso hu fa phone na record o mama a woto nyom anase wosa ebia na wonu aduane ana woye bibi sronko a emane danso ewo na afomu 1 minute pe na tie obetimi ne mame aye ana se wone ne ma ana wonu akasa ne kunu ye afidie Mama Got Talent Angel TV so be ye day na fasene sa WhatsApp number way 0543 871210 na die tie nie wo mom be din kunim no Angel TV Angel FM e bom abaso sanso ene ene omnyina e hwia bomu ni ya gie ni akase mama mo ena mo waya de nyankopon onhirao eniti kai na sanu video nintem esanse deadline no eye 1st May 2025 wo mama video ebe efe na beto mpanyefo akomaso no ye beto nsa from amomaba Angel House forecourt I ewo flat top akweteman ama ye djumedi na hihye so ebra ye di enanomoda na ya shomo no nyam ye say Mama Got Talent ye bi mama me why na ye nyina ye mbomu enhye enanum no nyam Angel TV Angel FM Emma enanum nyina ayiko #Mama Got Talent #Mother's Day #Celebrate Mom.
Amen.
atiefo ahwefo yareto adwumadi ne so fa to so abien yang asema da opon so no say Ghana scholarship for 1,000 ECOWAS students, a case of outside gentility or home cry. What about what songs here? You are president. Also, ma ECOWAS national as a woman man, our person who school had we invest in 1,000 scholarship. Na you be saying who say so Ghana for ma waha or this hadn't be a wrong any manner. So near Yura Mahama party promises say waba ubitia wonga Sheng University afimu first year one school fees so we to meet you na sankomon ekusideng saka say sabi o e bibia oreka de ayi bibia sabi eso ani bi anase oreka aboa nsem fufuru bi anaso se eye sabi ogua so handan bi anase yenga ye wo fie no ye fie ayero ho saa asemi a ura mahama de betu abonten eno na ne mpanimfo a yensa aka won ne ye ne won beka ho asem eye honorable Peter Nochu Kutoy oye MP Akache North oye chairman Parliamentary Select Committee on Education Dr. Joshua Jato Modi ononso oye lecturer Department of Education University of Lapland Finland Yura Richard Kwashi Kove oye convener campaign against privatization and commercialization of education Yura William Bwedi oye executive director of Educate Africa Institute na Ura Chreme Opong Daniel or former president National Union of Ghana Students mpenimfo memama chen de mobile dwumadi so moma menko hamana so na mene mpenimfo e wo ho no mfi nkomo na se wo ho ntientiem na yemra meko Dr. Joshua Modi ho doctor memama chen good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Doc.
Doctor, Ede mensa wobre tew ne eko. Yewura president adwena odi abeto abontin ene ade opeso yi. Eye sebe gwa so hantan bi anase ofi ayoro ho. Wa adwena kire oden.
Medical echia wankasa ni wetiefo ni wahwefo nyina. It's a very interesting topic, and also looking at the current developments with regard to education, as a country, and at the time that this call by Yen Papa Mahama Ebano, it raised a lot of worry, any surprises among the educational fraternity. And it's a very timely topic I would by, and I'm happy to be on the panel to discuss this. Medical chair, me wapani mi mamia Moshe ye and pay Johnson Kwame Chatro and Elizabeth Chatro or Mofujoku or Akuse. ECOWAS Kubia by on the 28th of May 1975. Mekase ECOWAS is in its 50th year of existence and now 5 decades of its existence. Now, the objective and I said the reason here you create ECOWAS, sub-region, the West African sub-region. One of the main objectives is a JDA ni amaya West African JDA ni equita hundie be seamless and I say borderless to enhance free movement of people across the member states. About 12, but we have about 15 member states now. Ghana, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, any other countries, Gambia, Sierra Leone, this kind of grouping. Now, promotion of joint enterprises and companies, and I manufacture Neoma together in the West African sub-region. One of their key objectives. But Ushe ECOWAS in general, they have other programs promoting education and assisting and boosting collaborations in terms of education. ECOWAS itself has its own challenges. One of their mandates promoting peace in the West African sub-region. They've not been able to fulfill that. We can see for the recent development and uprising in the sub-region, Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, where military have taken over the leadership of those countries. And which I said, ECOWAS has a more magnitude of responsibilities in maintaining peace in the sub-region. I was a focus. Now, we share the movement of people across the region. Mahama, the focus for bringing this promise, or promote they will strengthen regional bonds and to promote the situation where citizens of these nations are forming the ECOWAS will see themselves as partners and not foreigners. But already we have a system where we have a lot of migration and movement of people across these countries visa and any thorough scrutiny to allow them access. So already we have a lot of movement in these countries. So that objective in its own, it doesn't hold water with regard to what our president said. Now, Uba Yang education system and our ECOWAS system already existing scholarship programs. One of them, the EU ECOWAS scholarship promoting studies in sustainable energy among the sub-region members of every sub-region. Currently, universities in Cote d'Ivoire and university at the Kwame Asah Science and Technology, KNUST, ECA, universities are promoting that program. EU and ECOWAS sponsored program. When you go into the ECOWAS program, so you will find a program like the ECOWAS internships, which encourages internship access to member countries to enable their students to carry on various internship programs within the sub-region. So we already have institutions within the ECOWAS itself promoting this kind of agenda. Now, the call by our president to offer 1,000 scholarship to students within the sub-region to enhance this integration and borderless travel and cooperation academics. We need to situate it within our school system, within the Ghanaian school system and our academia, and as scholarship development. Do we have enough care and support for our own students? And I think these are the things we need to interrogate as we delve into these discussions. And thank you.
We have enough care or support within the system. So you will be wahana. You will then and a nay nipa bibre scholarship. What it means won't whatever party for whatever one and when your parties in them a one crofo to the beer na fenia man ko ye wo so do we have enough there yen ye wo ma ye betumi amebiana.
Yeah, if you look at our tertiary education system, there were key challenges within the education tertiary level because what our president called for support for tertiary students over the sub-region to collaborate and cooperate on many factors. I can say we already have setups in the ECOWAS system cater for these needs. The ECOWAS hackathon, cybersecurity hackathon, EU ECOWAS scholarship, within which the number of Ghanaians who have benefited from these programs are even handful. We are not ready as a country because if you look at the education system, Ghana tertiary education system now, let me tell you some of the challenges. There were limited funding for supporting academic programs. Postgraduate students who are even within our students. American postgraduate students, American masters ni PhD Ghanaian schools. It will surprise you to know that the amount of funding grant master students and PhD students in the Ghanaian universities of Ghana as you say, just 400 cedis. That is the amount that the Scholar Secretariat awards or gives to master students and PhD students as a research grant. 400. And your credit to account more, you get about 350 cedis or 380 cedis. It's anti-be-free. And if you're looking at a research component of a university, a country needs or supporting research students and our PhD and master students and MPhil students who are carrying various research in our institutions. Support 400 cities and for many years. Some of them have received their grants about 2 years and they have not been awarded anything again. Secondly, we share participating rate of students in our tertiary school systems now. There are many of them who are hindered by financial challenges in terms to me and access tertiary education. So the call to pay the first year entry fees for newly admitted students by the current government was in the right call. But we have not been able to implement that currently. Then you go to the difficulty of the government to even recruit academic staff and maintain them. Many of the academic staff at University of Ghana, Legon, Winneba, and the other public institutions, research grant, it takes years and months before it is paid. Last year, there were 927 students. The UK government attempted to deport them because their various universities have withdrawn them for non-payment of fees. These are students who were on the Ghana government scholarship in the UK, 927 of them. The government owed their fees to the amount of £17 million over 27 months. Showing that the government was not even able to honor its own responsibility to its nationals studying outside of Ghana. Then there were very inadequate research capacities within our system to support research work for our own nationals. So if we have money, we have resources to do anything, we should look at how we strengthen research. Look, every nation that is developing today is flying on the wings of academic research. Even in politics, the strength of your political policies flies on the amount of research data available to you. So if we have money to do anything or to organize some party or organize some flamboyant policies, we should focus on strengthening our own. Then we can look beyond our borders. Currently, Nigeria alone has about 75,000 students in Ghanaian universities. And this data is available on the Nigerian Central Bank data. The former director, Eka, said, when they look at remittances to Ghana from Nigeria, because the central bank is able to track how much people are sending and what people they are sending the money. And so when the monies are being paid to schools in Ghana, they are able to know. They were even alarmed, say about 75,000 of their students, of their nationals, were in Ghana already, with others still joining to access education in Ghana, which means that when it comes to the issue of strengthening regional bonds and I say promoting people seeing themselves as brothers within the South region, there are a lot of things going on already meeting this target. So it is important for government to focus on developing our research institutions and supporting. Now, saying last year, Principals of College of Education in Ghana, there are 46 of them, they were unable to feed the students who are in the training colleges in the country. Why? Because there was lack of funds. For this same lack of funds, this government of Ghana, previous ones and the current ones, the current government in its first term, canceled allowances that were going directly to teacher trainees in the spirit and light of that there was a lack of funds to support the program. So if today by magic we have money to support any academic program, we should look at how we strengthen our institutions and embolden our students financially to be able to carry on their academic programs than the program currently being championed by our leader. I think that the timing of it is very poor. Thank you.
Baho na mamenko hamano so na me Mr. William Buadi nkasa. Mr. Buadi wo studio ha. Yo. Mr. Buadi, yo. Nia ekosi. Outside gentility home cry na.
Alright, maminchia etifone ayefo.
Yo.
Mohwe de yamampani ediabeto edwamasna. Me say enyane kwaso. As we speak as a country, we are facing economic constraints. Ayi nyina no ye hwe ni say ebitimi ejina ye naso na ya support a system including education sector. And most of the times na ye kasa they are jumping, they are called tertiary. But the foundation of our education system ayana yendwene eho. Meanwhile, say obi anko nursery mewura kindergarten anko primary anko teachers wontimi to aso encline academic ladder, and which is very bad as a nation. Hwe ye mampani a odi kan wo wasajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah omla vision and say obema Africa nyina no aye baako enti or the education aba be show say o promote education across the African countries or make move, but none of this wasn't just to give scholarship to African countries, but to provide education content a beboa na Africa enya so faso. So it wouldn't be like yet how see the issue Cambridge curriculum nemum the yebesua wa Africa no at the end of the day if Africa ho nimdeɛ no sai ade ebitimi ade aboa na yɛde akyekyere Africa na yɛtimi ade yɛn ho so that enema atwa yɛn ho ahyia no yɛtimi anya ɛsomfaso as a before na ade yɛn ho kora. But looking at after all no other leaders are abanyina no say omo take decision bi a na misplaced priorities enkoa. Now I can tell you there are a lot of schools. The last time you share we discussed about over 5,400 schools under trees. Ghana. So ye jeni nyina ho na yama international students free African countries eba be sua de Ghana scholarship. Me ko ye wo Ghana form kola omoti duase ana. Ye de no to nchen a in 2005 the late Dr. Amako Tufo Satana Mampani Kofo Abai Ena Omiya research who say there is massive absenteeism in our schools and my education system no conform. After the research they realize say out of poverty most parents are not able to support their children in terms of feeding and other financial support. School feeding was launched in 2005 just to support our for muntimi support omoma support en feed you sika no muntimi so enko school senior aban no ehwe, because we all know say the future belongs to those who prepare for it today and nyina no mofre ya. Fast forward ye ka say my Ghana we are struggling to even sustain the school feeding program. So say years we nyina no enwie ya adenti ni ye dwene say ye ko outside or me ko within no yentimi so we how enwie way back na akola bia budget ye ma no under the school feeding program no na 1 cedi 20 pesos. Now say ya 2 e dey akọ 2 cedi per child. Ye mu say won say 2 cedis ne value in Ghana at the same. I no na ye dey ama Ghana for say ye dey feed you wo. Eti eno kwampo na another issue a pende ye wie ye na ye jampe akọ amama so support wo. last year, that was 19th September 2024. Ghana for now a government scholarship so they were stranded. Unfortunately, the current Deputy Education Minister, Dr. Clement Apak, noted said 927 students pursuing postgraduate degrees are involved. Aside that, 785 students are pursuing on masters. They are also involved. Then 142 students are almost here PhD. They are all suffering in this situation. And tuition fee na about no abeka I was a buying fee among was 17.6 million pounds as tuition fee and now buying into Mintia 2024 and 2025 emua. It is high Canada so currently Ghana Scholarship Secretariat Ababontain say and ya the onbetimi support student because omu edika and it's close to 32 million pounds pending. So all these things are there, and I am expecting our president to think about it because on government scholarship so now they are coming back to Ghana to help build the nation with their knowledge. It is besides that, tertiary institutions in this country, I am familiar with Legon situation. Every year, students be at 100 cities. The motive behind it is to provide accommodation, but still, there is accommodation crisis facing University of Ghana, KNUST, UCC, UEW, MBAE. Other universities are member in so my. Yet they are not to change. Doctor or Casano research allowances. And it is true. Our lecturers in this country almost declare strike. UTAG declare strike. What they go into the reasons for the strike declaration now. Research allowance was part. And last year we experienced almost 9 months. Strike duration was between UTAG and government. Now too worrisome. And what you know, SETAG and so-called strike on the same financial issues.
Yeah.
So, who can see any way now? Indeed, if you have some new year, then they are wanting the Abakudi, I want to ask him. Intimacy, Yantimintina as wanting more eminent as you. It's Yamo more than a fisherman in the floor. Nasi Yamoto Yang, in Kenya Bonio, say, oh my Ghana, oh my art, if you got some up to 2 years. Education system, any problem. We through internship, no one Juma. We after our service, a Juma or who school Mukrampono are buying to me support you. First, now a year, TSS in Ghana Scholarship Secretariat in Kwa, and actually no get fund a buy. Still, financial problems are my education system, no, and personal, and persistent. It is a Sunday morning and any problem be said. And they are as woman, we are okay. And just coming up bros in say other countries be our babies near the I am no mobile or mobile into the Boama. Nanka at least before Yakato, Trekunkona Kato was say Yamia Donas on Sakabia, now at Tenemosa. Besides that, a Sue and non Simunians and a Chileniado. Etika ye boy Nigerian students, ye boy African students, ye boy other countries. Babies near the Ghana, Nankanya Bonnet. Nelso, ye can say, ye no a comedy, ye may ye better than Yama of a Bianedi. So, and I'm on a man penny percent or to know. A baby or person audition in Norway, now own to me sorry. It messes no. A dear I want to meet no more chassis.
I will friend them, Mura. Mr. Point of correction, Kakrao, who share you tax strike na last year. Yakoya na nenye book allowance. Galam saying some. But what they Niameti asene say Bribia ba na UTAG strike na yako you were friend them resources ye ni and honiama enti eno na ewo ho na nia wuke nyina no se metwasia ne opese wo kan na se ye sebe Ghana ye ni sika ohia waha enu nti ente se ye chade sa na wo kan nan se ye nibi enu nti ade na se ye tume eyibi ma ye adoi minimum America sa asemu esa ne se aman bi wo ho a won so wonya won ho sa ye nso wo ye ngadoi da na no de ye gya na a kire wadwene wo ho ne nko
other countries will be able to say who apply to study in the US, Canada, UK, and other countries. So what we see in there are some scholarship attached to it. So what it be free more, on net tuition fee no reduce drastically. So when you compare Canada, USA, UK to Ghana, omusika sabono ewani mo sen yenye die. Now, dear Ubusameno, say we a jana woofy. Now a commodore woma. Eti, so what you know, man, now who pedianas on your Janibia. We are sure say Ubija or mana or woofy, soon how was a comediano. Onka when you Janibi now, they are Fakoma wanting for now, man who's what a hawana. There be a Jabia or Jen the Mawa of Ayasa. Say, insurance fee a ma and a technical anafo. Now, this is the case. Yes, you know, and yama, I will teach you. And put a atene aquana for. So, there's no way apply common sense in this. Everybody will hit to it. Say, oh, your president, why are there? Oh, my your future leaders struggle to survive in our education sector. When you go to, in our urban areas, you will see school going children are on my jai school. And nam and Monteso, on Bay Street children. Omo crampono, ye hear almost every year. So say a dear, and I'm digakano. Say ye timia to 2 and maybe ye hotoye. A fear seminal at least 95% ye timi arrows of it. Say a ball for Nakanya bonnet. So what I say, and Kanya bonnet. But this is the case, a year no, a fear seminal intimi and can be ye. Ye can say, at your chef, wa. I was a ya promote to ye don't two skills need to crampo no. Ya address the issue no in we that is more pre-tertiary no. Ya address that issue no in we it was just yesterday and a director general I didn't want to ma secretary said the regional director to make sure say obi bia or sefatase ya breeding no. Yes, I didn't two skills no. Omonya sade no. Sa issue we and we should bear in mind 99% of our teachers, including our lecturers in this country, are financially molested, economically molested, socially molested, emotionally molested because they are working under poor condition of service. And all these things have negative implication in our education. Teacher, you know, no lecturer, they are imparting knowledge in you, no. Say, on your sound, emotionally, financially, socially, economically, it will make negative impact on you, the learner. So what I say? So we must make sure, say, all these basic problems, you know, yet me reducing, and I say we've eradicated it totally from there. Then yet me we are. See, I understand, and I say, and say my ye can't any DNT Ghana for 10 beyond your quarter bano, and yes, on fast on the year. And I say, besides that, this wasn't captured in the party in government or manifesto. A woman said, "Do a business over a woman, which means she has problem be no one can also you must face it." But this is not a pressing demand. FAC Ghana say, "Ya scholarship now, ebe how my Ghana."
Okay, my men call Hamanos and Namene, Yunra, or friend then Ura Treme, me so what, Mr. Treme.
Mewa otumenka
Mr. Chairman
eba otumenka mewa
meto nka mewura medase mewura nia yewura president akire na dwene won ho or ma 1000 scholarship they ama you know one person abisua de wo Ghana ECOWAS National House no won so for adwene bra animanimu na yehwe na fe ne wo no memfa nka wo.
Alright, medical that was so apunya ene modiamai na yafa akonya isenso achia empe atifwa amuti ofayin na the American say nka zimupoya the president the person on the by nke adweba na mpempi no especially ubehwe ene military coups are intensify even Sahelian community in a break away nka eya opepa emusenka ene Ghana bit so abua yenu anu bi omo so maya ita yen wachia na etima bua ma yenu mu nkita mu die timi akoso daadai na asema ha adwene se yenka efisem enwie ya esifa ho na emeyi yekoka abonten so sem na me kache mini pe bi se na wani afra anase wani nye na ya maun nketaniwa se ajaje na fakte ekwan so a na nketaniwa no de apoche se wo de komo obi so anso ahwe ni abra wo nso nkwan so nti na de pese etire nya se nkatrimupo ne de nkatrimupo papa especially in Kebab ma yonko fa da Ghana ne impu amaya atwa enwase ne nyinamu ayese nemu yewo efisem bebre so ha esenke ka ho asema na se yedi tutu yi na etimi bu ama ye na disha em so to yi me twi adwan kosi abra na me ye next president enema bi se ana ka ho asem em se ye nuanum bebre mpo a mu hia de wo man mu a mu student loan trust fund so empempia fi bia student loan trust fund ebebie the portals we have over 50,000 applicants. But the student loan trust fund, so ultimately 10% per anything to my school or just our buying books and additional. Now they have dream the brain, so into more 10% now when young. It's way of Sunday and put intimate punch, Pangu, CC. Now, if I shall say more, Yachim and also in Portofio na basic school musha de asan wa ba secondary school ko tertiary and no be it's over basic school in basic school since say we intimi kwangu akwempa and over school degree e wo ni hase a osua de san hye ni na aban intimi ko enya sika bia betima ahwede abosa ade asem hu bra ene dinti na obekọ senior high school de say pray asem ni ade ade epize over basic schools now instead you go akwam ni week intimi wama intimi si fi afan so man Emma won't mean that to my pay the own secondary school. Meaning, and obey a bar practical mission and obey Abia said, Wama practical mission with basic school anywhere. It can never come to the junior high schools or about to you look at it. We now grant be 19 points to us. We need some American years and combine it within society. I go up from 1980. It means this is answer in Kain idea, which is yeah, one my Kuswa and Kenya then any day. Now, I know to say. Yes, even the get fund up and chair any own capital get funds. You think yes, I bind it to the Isika. Yes, you get market at the 2 basic school. The market as it's a senior high school points and kind of market. And the school for be we senior high school and our numbers now increase almost to 2.5 million numbers and how much more senior high schools from where we be none at because the car or the better was walk on and eliminate the amount. It's in this and here center buying the one what build the human capital, what building the youth in this country. It's my one more minor tumpen. It is the man just an never way Nana say yen to tell you sabi. Say what a mindful for a Brian so in addition and end to year. Nina in Kay bra. Yen looks president. Yen Nubia. Amode a buying scholarship. It's sure they were mindful person. If maybe an essay at the most stressing friends and choice for my dear. As a bind it mature on a name for couldn't pempen so be a sebi sanitary party and I knew media more money about the city when I had now buying to me Jessica I'll wait me a boss out when I will shall ye I'm an hombra and me who study statistics and analytics are best at who say you know be buying as one as any uncle shall ye or I'm on the brain and some baby a person net your coyana say by meaning now could you not Sikasama report in addition Samubra. It's any yes, Don Dramani Mahama by yes, Ram by it. She said, Send you back on it. Away, man. Now it's my Amadisha, some sort to Yan Sana. It's not a will be an answer, my who do among you, maybe a hit on it, it's my one. And they will omo amusu aman so
so
e be
shia de osan team kakra man a edu ba bi ne yente wone yew edu line no efiri kakra inti anka mesere ne say asam na okan no osan team bi o man a so that yen ahu ne okan
okay
aha you ne kakra no kakra na etwato na woka no you sentimu man bio na yenko
okay just na me kenyina ne say ene yo hwa ye nuanu bi a amotete especially foreign students on Bagana Bishan them and school fees or mutia different from I tell my school fees I pia. Then always Kapudu over 1,000 people are buying ever so on a Sam of Bishan and a Sikabi Branca. Mijiti say it to me a sharp from Yama where mine, especially in every teacher training allowance. Things are buying public many Kapudu dear teachers on Amanako social. And over student loan transfer abandoning to me share end to two and Honyama because ye near Sikasam problem. And if I say your capi get fund, we still not buying what you want a word is Sigani we and 9 years there ICC your schools na yet. And if a Christian is being to me Sikapoti and any of the bomb. And if a secondary school and a double tracker, if you feel in infrastructure be being yet may mean in floor. In the end, yes, Rabbi say, Jumadi or Pesu did engage, Jumadi pa, a would Tremupan Kebabwa, Ama. Nkitawudia ene amahodo so a atwa enwa hye won emu ba di nemu yen hwe ne yen kafi se menue ka se mi se nso a watifi enyema etne kwanafo ene hwe se anka efi asema nwi a migidi se yentimi hwe na enka abonto system te na de yesre na makoy former news president many experience to the student front ye hwe ahwo kira you go through a fast scholarship temu e fa enuan no issue de wa bochemu e fa enuan ma almost go basic school for the better na school de ayede ye we tan ne manyina na ye kafu a ne hu ni se aban no sabi ye nhwehwe ni bakran tintin ye nhwe ne so ifi asem ano because o mine that thing na di agina di asem so ye tinye je ya ani betima hwa aman so so de ye timi aye ni na we US a na timi bo Ghana fo bebre e mo muko sua de wa na hwe o mo no di asem very robust. In see, and she ever quite continue for what I'm a whole way train was ya never say and sweet. Yadis was a very robust. Yet, not to near Mamma be beyond so see and son yet near Quapontin Swakobwa with us.
Niao Kenya, near about me for woman, say, it's an as a sabi, ye here funty, and to say, ye near beer, young problems, and so we and in the anticipate a booby, a cra. Na wakana saa hwe Ghana nya afa hundin anche yenwura kwa mankroma oma Ghana oma Guinea sika emu dopa oma Mali sika emu dopa saa two countries no oma ba ko 10 million pounds oma ba ko 5 million pounds won fa moya won man saa time no na ye ho ntoyen besi ne enso oboa nti wakana saa dia na jese mu pa jere se sebe wuni bi kura mpo a okwa asoro kura wuni aforobo saa na moka
they can say emra Kwame Nkrumah empo na oyi sika fudo dia boa man atwa enwa sia se Mali eni Guinea no na ye de se pagu akwama emremu yati University of Ghana emremu yati University Kwame Nkrumah University of Science aya hwese mpuntunuma bebra na egu akwama na ekoso na koye se Ghana mpo ya dumpempenso bia na sika mpo ya de behwe ye na addition akwa omunkwaji ni bia metu o man no emmo man ntumpon na ye nyammo na san hye ni nyina egu akwam ntia na ye pese ehu saban no obia ni register mpo aban na eboa amanfofo se aban na de hye ba egu akwam aban na me ehu se ne sika we efiri ha na ye de hwe ye yi sa over 5,000 schools under trees din na efiri aban ma ye de hye ba egu akwam na ya se enuan mo mo je aban bosia de hye de no ye timanya sika pudo ebetima bɔ ho bra because na ko US a school for no be brena de aban bosia de hye de ye pese ye mu se aban na yi san hye nyina egu akwam mu a ene se obo obi anya de be na o ma ene wo training omo ana wo de omo fa nfiade mu no se omo mbra no mehwe o man mpuntu no mo tibiase na fiade ene nkwada wo pese ene omo ba no mbe ene omo be ministers omo be lecturers omo be various positions din yan mpabo obesem ko dia ko school de ma ye dia man o de na si form ene na okosuade nso mpo be no ma ye dia man ene se wo sa anya ma nyina chia I mean jin di se e yo papem se ne ye be kwa bontin se ko yisika foforo nti se nanki aban ni tinya pekere se nan hye sei and ɔde agugu akwam te sɛ deɛ na ɔde nhyehyɛ wakasa ɔde nhyehyɛ sɛ ɔbɛboa atufoɔ apem a more different countries ama ɔmo atumi akɔ school tɔte nti sɛ nɛ wobɛbɛka kyerɛ Ghanafoɔ sɛ ne teacher training allowance yi yɛyi sika wei ɛma sɛ yɛwɔnka pay get fund over 9 billion na yɛbɛnya no yɛyi mu 1 billion for the next 4 years yɛde tua teacherfoɔ nyinaa ka ɛnɛ schoolfoɔ ɛwɔ under 3 over 5,000 ɛnɛ yɛyi bɛɛ 2 billion na yɛde clear over 2,000 afiri hɔ ɛnɛ yɛ nuanom ɔmo kɔsua deɛ wɔ aburokyire yɛde saa nhyehyɛ agu akwam sɛ afi bosome biara no sika a ɔmode bɛbɔ wɔn ho bra adesuansɛm wɔn aduanesɛm mu yɛde saa sika wei bɛhwɛ yɛhu saa nneɛma no nyinaa ɛbɛma yɛn Ghanafoɔ no ɛbɛma yɛ confidence ɛma yɛ akokoduro sɛ mpo aban nhyehyɛ na ɔde kɔkɔboa aman a atwa ho ahyɛ no ɛyɛ because ɛnɛ yɛde nhyehyɛ pɛ nso agu mu a ɛma Ghana adesuansɛm ɛne mmabunu mu ntuntum nso atumi adurɛkyi.
So namene Dr. Modi miwi ameba ho doc masan ba ho bio wo so amamente wonka hello doctor
doc mi wa
doctor ni ayekeka nyina no den na bang no ete so ye wo saase mu ehu ye den na ete so ye
me da say o hwe bibia me nua Opon Daniel Eribesi ya some of the challenges are we have in our education system and know about the lack of infrastructure. For example, City News Eka said there are about 2.3 million Ghanaian kids from primary KG to JHS omuni dex nkonya yetena so esunya de omuni bi ebi etre ICT a omudi ebo na ye mouse no mudi blackboard no aye screen no mudi akire nkwala no ICT at the basic level. There were lack of textbooks. Abai introduced a new curriculum in 2019. From that 2019 till date, the government has not been able to come up with a definite textbooks meeting that curriculum requirement. That challenge is also there. Now, Oba teachers for us, Doc, it will surprise you. Some teachers were posted in September last year. Say their back pays have not been paid. And no. Abai kutio muka 3 months, while the people have worked for about 7 months because the government claims there is no fund. And coming what the president should have done is that maybe the heads of state in ECOWAS who formed the summit, the membership of ECOWAS could have come together and say, okay, let's look at education within the sub-region. What can we do collectively as heads of states leading our various nations to promote education and strengthen integration through educational research and collaboration? And Nanka ECOWAS summit now agrees. So let's look at supporting 2,000 students every year across our region. Now, Amainbiano emphasize this amount of money, Embra, to contribute to that. But Ghana and Kwame declare, and in the whole ECOWAS, no country has awarded scholarship on its own to students in the sub-region, apart from say Mahama Edik's declaration. So Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore, declared free education from the lowest level to the highest level in Burkina Faso. This is a young guy who has taken over a country and thinking about how to promote human capital development within its own country. And I think that this is the way our president would have gone. First, dealing with the challenges facing the educational system in our country, removing the obstacles to access for young learners and young researchers in Ghana. Now, the capacity, because we don't have the capacity in our tertiary institutions. The existing professors and lecturers are overly burdened with a lot of students they have to supervise because the government didn't have funds or does not have funds to recruit more hands onto the tertiary system to support research and to support teaching and learning. And she said, the government should look at strengthening our system, then we can extend hands to do that. But one solution I think they could have done as part of ECOWAS 50th anniversary celebration is the heads of state should have come together to initiate this policy. Then we know that collectively they are doing this. And like I mentioned before, there are more challenges facing ECOWAS that needs their attention than Ghana declaring this when we have our own challenges within our system. So about cross-border integration within the ECOWAS sub-regional. For example, Ghana send students every year to the French-speaking countries, Togo and Benin, as part of their training, those doing French within the universities. Ghana students Liberia, about 4,000 before the war, and some of them have returned. Then we have Ghanaians who are studying law in Gambia, about 1,300. So there is already that kind of fraternity and collaboration and integration going on. So that promise or that vision, say the idea is to broaden integration. I think that it is not a sufficient reason for which we will neglect our institutions, we will neglect our students, we will neglect our human capital in the education system and focus on importing 1,000 students, whereas we have challenges within our old system. If we have money, let's remove the DEX obstacle. If we have money, let's go and pay the teachers whose salaries are in arrears. If we have money, let's provide the ICT tool that the children need at the basic level to learn. And if we have funds that we can do any other thing, let's go and give priority to our lecturers who are in our teacher institutions so they can broaden their research base. They can have funds to recruit more learners and more researchers to enhance our research delivery in our country. I think these are the solutions we need and not what our president is proclaiming.
As a member of ECOWAS, it will help in our image and everything about ECOWAS. Is it?
Yes, as a member of ECOWAS, Ghana already is doing a lot. One, we are contributing troops to peacekeeping operations. We are contributing to a lot of programs at ECOWAS running, and Ghana's contributions time. Even Nkrumah donated 10 million pounds to other countries to support their human capital development. Now, these are some of the reasons why even Nkrumah was overthrown, because you have issues. Those monies could have solved a lot of our problems and set us up in proper development path. But we use it to do some of these things that we are still doing, and then we are still lacking. So as member of ECOWAS, Ghana has not restrained. In 2012, Ghana hosted the ECOWAS Games here in Accra, and that is part of our contribution. Last year, Ghana hosted the AU Games at the Legon, and we are still doing a lot. It's the sub-region, and we cannot carry all the burdens. Currently, 3 countries have left the ECOWAS bloc. We're talking about Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, the Sahel states. And ECOWAS is rather losing its shine and cream towards the achievement of their core objectives. Okay, I think 3 or 10 years ago, ECOWAS could said they are introducing the ECO, the currency called the ECO. Yes, billboard in all the countries. Ghana, they were about they were coming to promote a common currency within the sub-region. Till date, that objective was not met, and that thing was just a waste of money. And then Obi Free Ghana na Otu Kwan Ako Nigeria, Odu Togo border, Obi Chinja Kosifa, Odu the border between Nigeria and Cotonou. You have to change again to Naira. And these are more issues. I was ECOWAS looking at our president will champion to boost trade. The trading aspect of ECOWAS mission is what Ghana should champion so that we can broaden our market for our traders and our manufacturers. But that has been left aside, and we are looking at taking money from Ghana to support students. Would you be back Ghana to study on scholarship? One, you are going to pay the tuition fee, you are going to provide accommodation, you are going to provide feeding allowances to them, and sometimes support them with their research work and funding. And these are the same resources that our own graduates within the country are fighting for and looking for. And she said, let me know, when you are now we see we come the abonsuntin intino o the brother ofie o the comma ni o outside now within that mano at the comma. It doesn't sound right. And I think that yes, our membership in ECOWAS, we are doing a lot and we can still do more, but not at the expense of our nationals. That would have been a very failed promise that the people would have bestowed in you or trust in you, that you are disappointed. And I think that it is not the right time for this call, and our president needs to look at it again if we have to look at our education in general within our country.
say member Mr. Buedi ho. Mr. Buedi, your concluding remarks. Nia ekwe sɛnea wɔn mo kan nyinaa kyerɛ sɛ sɛbe yɛyɛ ahiafo nti afɔre bokora nte sɛ yɛbɔ na mo kan nyinaa no wo concluding remarks wɔ saa asɛm ho ɛyɛ dɛn
ECOWAS mesere wo yɛpɛsɛ yɛnya ɔmoso mfasoɔ nhwɛmu akyerɛ sɛ Dr. Osajefo Kwame Nkrumah ɔno nko ampo ne mission no ɛne ne vision no was powerful than ECOWAS. I still more exist. But Nkrumah wawu hwɛ Africanization of education. Nkrumah advocated for education system that was relevant to African needs and context. He promoted the study of African history.
Hold on 1 minute. Na me nkwa free no so na me ne Honorable Nochu Enkasa. Honorable, good morning.
How are you?
Honorable Mpacha Utemenka.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Honorable President Mahama, I say Obama ECOWAS nationals. 1,000 scholarship. Information on the world. Is it home gentility, outside cry?
Thank you very much. I think if we look at it from that angle, then we will not be doing anything good for ourselves.
I'm the Honorable Hamanato. Mirabwedi, Koso.
Yes.
Briefly.
I was talking about Nkrumah's ideas how to make Africa great. So, and those are some of the things we are expecting ECOWAS to think about. And the motive behind was to build the African economy. I bit me naso. Nasa laboro no ye bitwa so.
Laboro ne den.
Say bibia ne ye kokwaje besia free amanone. And as we speak, our economy is in the hands of IMF. Meanwhile, we are sitting on money. We have the renewable and the non-renewable resources, but we don't know how to use them judiciously to benefit every Ghanaian. Now, what we expect our president to do, dear Okai will manifest numa a to Ghana for Akuma Swama to Obama NDC to come to power. Onye, I for education onye. Besides, sir, capitation grant, ababaye arrears nunti, extracurricular activities at the pre-tertiary sector no. In our education, he should pay the arrears and make sure say other subsequent months every flow no matter me because those activities no should besides that, teachers are facing a lot of financial constraints and therefore they are unable to deliver very well in classroom, and they no contribute to the reason why you move on control and so here. Na results near abysmal no enti yemo modern ye hwe ya church no the teachers are pivot in education, so and they implement all educational policies. So I don't know why we don't think about them. Senkade promise we crampon is about teachers welfare, at least in Kekwan bi so no some of us will hit to it because no stand tall in educational policy development and implementation. Besides that, Doc Ekasano, I was part of teachers I implemented the new curriculum in 2019, 1st September. I was part of the teachers, part of the facilitators. I am very sad about this because from that time till now, we don't have books. And viewers, let's get it right. Textbooks, when you talk of teaching and learning material, textbooks are just a manual of it, and it plays 2% of the whole teacher learning materials. It's a manual. When you talk of TLMs, equipment, materials, and one can something like ICT lab. We need the computers. Every student be so then the textbooks a guide to control or to manipulate and use the computer. Issue we shouldn't focus only on the textbooks, but other equipment. I was say can't textbooks education system so I'll urge our president. We have crisis in our home, so let's try to resolve it. Students, we are training them to become problem solvers, but because of the more proper practical education in our schools. No muntiminya practical knowledge, you know, to solve our problem. They end up becoming commentators instead of problem solvers. It must say, "Oh man, you go any a baby your first president U2S Kevin Mamali any Guinea." It was a mistake, and we shouldn't add on to the mistakes now. Will be a buyer or babaye no. It makes Ghana for you and Educate Africa Institute depending.
Okay, but I'll say, my call Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, your last word on this issue.
Yes, sir. But I'm saying, yeah, I can't talk to, and I said, you know, I try and work there, and I said, maybe section, I mean, Tunisia. And then you don't see so, and I'm going to come and come president, you know, about to compare. Now, where China, or the main call for an answer, students don't be brave, a permanent position on their identity, about all mobile mining policy, and Sakan and will be developed over Vietnam. And engineers will be seen in Vietnam, no engineers be bar. For Billion, a binary industry on education system, so big training, mobbing bank, because somebody on my education, what matter one mining people. By the immediate, you're fine, you're an additional foreign fantasy any you're fine, it's a phone put a picture sending once anyway, and make the school going to be that's what to be assistant. You're telling us, same way in our own way. We're sorry, I put to cruise a papa what am I go for? Okay, no quite in Kenya, one so any editing I can send for I don't pack. Name young Kenanka if you ask them, you can't ask them, we are, you did say a bit to my boy. Ada American when she na echo was so. We did say was so to meet us na on penny for Nasaki on Madrid Pamma. But me, I didn't say Pampo, Kwame Asah, Amaya, the work was in because Meku was in America Juice case in Timina Echo was set in work was a use to be the Amaya, a woolly cooling, a Tumabwa mining purchase. Many intimate, that was intimate fan, she said. Bam the bois, minor, I should not send him to her. Is if I a minor, which means one day, or back, mother bois, if you bois a my account when you want to and put 20 days, can you say, a binding for now issues with the and a moment you can Casana will be so, and let me so make happen. Your student loan transfer issue, your input home issue idea, or they are buying scholarship, Asian, they are butcher, are buying to home issues, or young multi Asian idea. Issues with the free senior high school issues. Even Abraham can say teacher training be testing. See, and Obana, okay, teacher training now, we are tertiary students. We're going to be our done. I have bought some we're going to classroom for teacher training. This year, they are side teacher training. And you be training a man or lecture in your room. Is a mobile school. Nadia, I have bought some. Until you're any hand to sign your way in an semi dream. We did say for my window. And we to Yamane is a pub when Nebuama Syria but a teacher when Syria but a school year on me, yes, shot, and I didn't find to tell what mother will mining put to anyone. We did say, oh, mine big my I may next study Vietnam as many engineers, but Wamagana, the 2 point said China for some engineers, but we see a diamond, bedroom revenue. Then quite say, I say, more scholarship. I say, the young the engineers near the Mali, near the engineers, they are Guinea. Yeah, the engineers say they are quite poor as a mining doing now more from one much minor to point. I'm saying, a mining this part of your comments. Actually,
Yabadawase, Jumedia, Ne, Munina, Mubabuayan, Penifua, Wabuayan, or Fedi Kanga, share Chief Justice and Honsamono, Yada Munyanase, and Peninfonsia, Mubuayan, or fair to see being share 1,000 scholarship on so. I said, I am a day. Fe nititiru muyamutie mohweyen awo yemfiri huru nyina aso asra yamode na fe ayempenimfu a wuchinchimo amfiri ma dwumadi course wano a yede abawie yede munyina ase utwade yampon na yede ase da mane se waboyen na ne dwumadi na efefefe mi gedi se dase ne obuyen no mayen kwa yebeba ne abetoya yenkomoso medamase